You open your phone and check your credit score app for the third time today. It went from 742 to 738. Your stomach drops. What did you do wrong? Did someone steal your identity? Is your financial life falling apart? You spend the next hour Googling, "Why did my credit score drop?" and reading articles about how to get back up. You're stressed. You're worried. You're obsessing over 5 points on a number that, honestly, you're not even sure what it actually means. Meanwhile, you have $8,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. But hey, at least your credit score is good, right? Wait, something about this doesn't add up. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people stress over the wrong numbers when it comes to money. If you're someone who checks your credit score constantly, worries about every tiny change, or thinks a perfect 850 is the key to financial success, but you're still carrying debt and struggling to build wealth, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Let me explain the trap. Imagine you're in school and every student gets a report card with one giant number on it. That number is supposed to represent how good a student you are. It's calculated based on a secret formula that nobody fully explains to you. You're told this number is super important. Teachers mention it constantly. Your parents ask about it. Everyone says you need a high number to succeed in life. So you become obsessed with that number. You check it every day. You stress when it goes down by a couple points. You celebrate when it goes up. Here's what you don't notice. The number isn't actually measuring how smart you are. It's not measuring how much you're learning. It's not even measuring whether you're going to be successful. It's measuring how good you are at borrowing pencils and returning them on time. That's it. If you borrow pencils from other students and you always give them back quickly, your number goes up. If you borrow too many pencils at once, your number goes down, even if you're perfectly capable of paying them back. If you never borrow pencils at all because you always bring your own, your number stays low because you have no pencil borrowing history. Meanwhile, there's a kid in class who borrows pencils constantly, way more than he can afford to return. But because he makes tiny payments back every week, his number looks pretty good. He's drowning in pencil debt, but his report card number? It's good. And there's another kid who never borrows pencils, saves her money, and buys her own supplies. But her number is lower than the kid in debt because she doesn't play the pencil borrowing game. That number on your report card? That's your credit score. And the pencils? That's debt. Look, I'm not saying credit scores don't matter. I'm saying most people completely misunderstand what they actually measure. Your credit score isn't measuring wealth. It's not measuring financial stability. It's not even measuring how responsible you are with money. It's measuring how profitable you are to lenders. Let me break down what actually affects your credit score, because this is where the trap starts. According to FICO, the most common credit scoring model, your score is based on 5 factors. Payment history, 35%. Do you pay your bills on time? This is the biggest factor. But here's the thing. You only build payment history by having debt. If you don't have any loans or credit cards, you can't prove you pay on time. Credit utilization, 30%. How much of your available credit are you using? If you have a $10,000 credit limit and you're using $9,000 of it, that's bad for your score, even if you pay it off every month. They want you using credit, but not too much. Length of credit history, 15%. How long have you had credit accounts? The longer, the better, which means young people automatically start with lower scores, even if they're financially responsible. Credit mix, 10%. Do you have different types of debt? Credit cards, car loans, mortgages? Having more types of debt can actually help your score. New credit, 10%. Have you opened new credit accounts recently? Too many new accounts hurts your score. Do you see the pattern here? Every single factor is about debt. Your ability to borrow, your history of borrowing, how much you're currently borrowing. The average American credit score as of 2024 is around 715, according to data from FICO and Experian. That's considered good. But here's what they don't tell you. Nearly half of credit card holders carry a balance month to month, according to recent surveys. That means millions of people with good credit scores are actively losing money to interest. You can have a 750 credit score and be drowning in debt. You can have a 650 credit score and be debt-free with a growing investment portfolio. The score doesn't tell you who's actually winning financially. Here's where this gets really sneaky. The credit score system is designed to make you feel anxious. According to research, credit scoring companies profit from anxiety. When you're worried about your score, you're more likely to sign up for credit monitoring services, pay for score boosts, and obsess over every tiny change. One sociologist from Princeton put it this way: as soon as we are asked about our credit scores, or in a moment when we can't get something we need, or we get it at too high a price, that's when we realize that this thing has been hanging over our heads. We've been conditioned to see our credit score as a measure of self-worth. Some people even put their credit scores in their dating profiles. A Bankrate survey found that almost 2 in 5 people might reject a potential date for having a low credit score. Think about how insane that is. We're judging people's character based on a number designed to measure how profitable they are to banks. And here's the part that really frustrates me. This obsession distracts you from what actually matters. While you're stressing about your score dropping from 760 to 755, you're not paying attention to the $15,000 in credit card debt that's costing you $3,000 a year in interest. While you're celebrating hitting 800, you're not noticing that you have zero savings and no investments. Research from 2024 shows that over 18% of Americans had a past due payment in the last year, and average credit card utilization jumped to 35%, meaning people are using more than a third of their available credit. These are signs of financial stress, but many of these same people are still obsessing over their credit scores instead of addressing the actual problem. The trap works like this. You focus on the score. The score makes you feel like you're doing well, but underneath, you're actually broke. Let me show you what this obsession actually costs people with some real numbers. According to a NerdWallet study from 2024, the average American household with revolving credit card debt owes about $10,563. At the current average credit card interest rate of around 23%, making only minimum payments, it would take nearly 22 years to pay off and cost over $18,000 in interest. Think about that. $18,000 in interest on $10,563 of debt. But here's the thing. Many of these people have good or even very good credit scores. They're making their minimum payments on time, so their payment history looks great. They're maintaining multiple types of credit, so their credit mix is solid. Their score might be 720 or even 760. And they're quietly losing thousands of dollars every year to interest while their credit score tells them they're doing fine. There's also data showing that 35% of Americans with revolving credit card debt believe they'll probably always have some revolving balances. They've accepted debt as permanent. And why? Because their credit score makes them feel like everything's okay. Meanwhile, someone with no debt, a fully funded emergency fund, and investments might have a credit score of 680 because they don't play the borrowing game. Who's actually in better financial shape? Now, what do you do with this information? First, stop obsessing over perfect scores. Financial expert Chi-Chi Wu says it perfectly. If you have a credit score over 720 or 780, stop worrying. Don't be obsessed with getting an 800 or 820. This is not your SAT score. Once you're above 740 to 760, you qualify for the best interest rates on most loans. Going from 760 to 850 doesn't actually get you anything. It's just bragging rights. Second, understand what the score is actually for. Your credit score matters when you're borrowing money, getting a mortgage, a car loan, or renting an apartment. That's it. It doesn't measure your wealth. It doesn't measure your financial security. It's a tool lenders use to decide whether to give you money and what interest rate to charge. Third, focus on what actually builds wealth. Here's the truth. You can build massive wealth with a mediocre credit score. You cannot build wealth while obsessing over a number and ignoring your debt, lack of savings, and missing investments. Wealthy people don't sit around checking their credit scores. They focus on income, assets, and cash flow. Fourth, use credit strategically, not emotionally. If you're going to use credit cards, use them for convenience and rewards, but pay them off in full every month. Don't carry a balance just to build credit history. That's paying interest for a number that doesn't make you richer. Fifth, realize the game is designed to keep you borrowing. The entire credit score system benefits lenders, not you. They want you to have debt. They want you to borrow responsibly, meaning you pay interest without defaulting. A person with no debt isn't profitable to them, so the system penalizes you for not playing the game. You don't have to play. The credit score trap exists because it keeps people focused on the wrong goal. Instead of asking, am I building wealth? People ask, is my credit score going up? Instead of asking, how do I get out of debt? People ask, how do I improve my credit utilization ratio? Instead of asking, am I financially free? People ask, did I hit 800 yet? It's a distraction, and it's working exactly as designed. Banks and credit card companies make billions in profit every year from interest payments. In 2024, credit card balances hit $1.14 trillion, according to the Federal Reserve. That's trillion. Every month, millions of Americans make minimum payments, pay interest, and watch their credit scores stay good while their wealth stays flat or goes negative. And the whole time, they're being told to focus on that three-digit number. Here's what keeps me up at night. People are working incredibly hard, trying to do the right thing, obsessing over their credit scores, and they're still broke. Because they're playing a game designed to profit lenders, not build wealth. You deserve better than that. Look, credit scores aren't evil. They're a tool. But like any tool, you need to understand what it's for and what it's not for. It's for getting loans at good rates when you need them. It's not for measuring your financial success. It's not for validating your self-worth. And it's definitely not something you should be checking 3 times a day. If you're obsessing over your credit score while carrying debt, you're focused on the wrong number. The number that actually matters is your net worth. What you own minus what you owe. Focus on growing that. Share this video with someone who's constantly checking their credit score, but never seems to get ahead financially. Or someone who just got their first credit card and thinks a high score is the ultimate goal. Even if you understand this already, I promise there's someone in your life who needs to hear it. Now, there's one more trap we need to talk about. Because even if you understand credit scores, avoid unnecessary debt, and start building wealth, most people hit a wall at $100,000. And nobody explains why. It's called the $100,000 trap. And once you see it, you'll understand why so many people get stuck at that exact number, and what you need to do differently to break through it. Hit subscribe if you want to see that breakdown. Give this a thumbs up if it changed how you think about credit scores. And seriously, share it. Financial clarity shouldn't be this rare. I'll see you in the next one.